I was sitting in church one day, and it was the sermon that everybody hates. It was Stewardship Sunday, the day where the minister talks about tithing. As he talked about how we should give our first 10% to God, he told us how someone once asked him, well, if 10% goes to God, where does the other 90% go? And he said, to everybody else. There are a lot of people and forces that are after your money in retirement. Today, a story you can use about one of them. So two guys are climbing up a mountain. Each has climbing gear, ropes, and a backpack. One of the guys is doing great, climbing with ease. The other guy, not so much. He's out of breath, and he's straining with every step. When they get to the top of the mountain, the one guy says, well, that was great. I'm invigorated. Do you want to have a drink to celebrate? The other guy, sitting on a rock, still out of breath, says, you brought beer up here? He said, no, but you did. And he reaches into his backpack and pulls out a six-pack of beer. That story illustrates how someone who's weighted down with extra baggage has a hard time keeping up with everybody else. In the same way, fees can do the same thing to your retirement. Warren Buffett once said, performance comes and performance goes, but fees never falter. Jack Bogle said, do you really want to invest in a system where you put up 100% of the capital, take 100% of the risk, and get 30% of the return? That might seem outrageous, but the math is true. Tony Robbins has been talking about this in his book, Money Master the Game. A 1% increase in financial fees can cost you 10 years of retirement money, and most people don't even know they're paying them. Now, those are all good stats, but fees are how you get paid. So how do you talk about this? If you happen to be an advisor who charges a flat fee or has that option, that makes you unique. So that makes it easy. You should probably talk about how your portfolio X-ray identifies high-fee investments. You use ETFs over mutual funds. You eliminate high-fee investments like variable annuities. I would tell clients about how you saved money in fees by using a story. Tell them how they were able to take a trip with their grandchildren, spend another month in Florida, or buy that muscle car they've always dreamed of. Put a story with it to make it come alive. But the most common talking point in this area brings me to another Warren Buffett quote. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. I have a lawn service, but they don't just mow. They edge, they trim the bushes, they blow the leaves in the fall, they spread fertilizer and weed killer. When I compared their service to everybody else, I get a lot of value for what I pay. And that's the key. Show people that your process also includes tax planning, estate planning, income planning, risk management, as well as ongoing support and open communication. They don't have to chase all over town, meeting with an estate planning attorney and a CPA, and then try to get all these people to talk to each other and on the same page. These are important talking points to show how much value you provide compared to everybody else. Selling with Stories is a little different than most YouTube channels. I encourage you to grab everything you want and use it. Tool around to all our other videos and see if there's something you can find useful. Because if you're stealing from me, you're stealing twice. Thanks for watching.